If you ask 100 Counter-Strike players to name the rarest M4A4 in the game, 99 of them are going to say the Howl. It's contraband, it's illegal, and it's ultimate flex. But what if I told you they were wrong? What if I told you there is a skin that is significantly rarer than the Howl? A skin that doesn't have glowing wolves, or pearlescent anime girls, or shiny neon colors. A skin that looks like something your grandpa would take into the woods to shoot ducks. What up guys, welcome back to the channel. When I first started playing this game, the only way to customize your weapon was to download a sketchy texture file from a German forum and hope you didn't get a virus. Today, we are diving deep into the multi-billion-dollar Counter-Strike 2 economy. We aren't talking about the flashy stuff from the 2026 terminal updates. We are going back to the very beginning, to August 2013, to the arms deal update. We are looking at M4A4 Modern Hunter, a skin so mathematically broken and so impacted by the new 2026 lootbox laws that it has become ultimate digital antiquity. Let's break down the hidden math, the trade-up trap, and why this ugly skin might be the biggest flex in CS2 history. On August 14, 2013, Valve changed gaming forever with the arms deal update. They introduced weapon skins, but back then the design philosophy was totally different. And now, over a decade later, we are talking about Militia Collection and its M4A4 Modern Hunter. This skin uses hydrographic finish. It's a 3-tone photographic hunting camo, yellow oak leaves, brown branches, a grey receiver, and a solid black pistol grip. In the Source 2 engine, it uses the legacy matte finish. It doesn't reflect light like modern shiny skins. Many players actually love this skin because there is no shiny glare or shader noise to distract you when you're holding an angle. Personally, I miss this era. Today every gun looks like it was painted by a hyperactive kid with box of neon markers. The Modern Hunter looks like a gun you would actually take into Warzone. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you prefer the tactical camo? Or are you all about shiny skins? And now the rarity illusion comes in. Because of its contraband status, everyone thinks M4A4 Howl is the rarest skin. But let's look at the actual data. There are roughly 7,400 Howls in existence. Do you know how many Modern Hunters are registered out there? About 4,180. That's right. A random restricted purple skin from 2013 is statistically rarer than the most famous contraband skin in the game. But why? To answer that, we have to look at the brutal punishing math of Counter-Strike float systems. In Counter-Strike, a skin's condition is determined by a float value, a number between 0.0 and 1.0. Factory new is anything between 0.0 and 0.07. But the Modern Hunter doesn't play by the normal rules. For the Modern Hunter, Valve has hard capped this skin. It has a float floor of 0.06 and a maximum of 0.8. Because it cannot drop below 0.06, the window to get the factory new Modern Hunter is only between 0.06 and 0.07. That is microscopic, 1.35% probability window. Even if you get the flawless 0.06 version, you will still see scratches on the magazine and the receiver. It is mathematically impossible for this gun to be flawless. This creates a massive price gap. Today a minimal wear Modern Hunter may cost you around $140, but the factory new version, good luck finding one with decent price. You are looking at anywhere from 650 and beyond, and that is assuming you can even find a collector willing to sell it, at least in factory new condition. It has a liquidity rating of very low. It is a trophy asset, but surely you can just craft one using trade-up contract, right? Let's talk about trade-up economy a bit more closely, because this is where the math gets truly evil. To craft the restricted purple skin, you need 10 mil-spec blue skins. Now, the M4A4 is the only restricted skin in the Militia Collection. So if you put 10 blue Militia skins into a contract, you have 100% chance to get factory new M4A4. Easy, right? Wrong, because the factory new window for the Modern Hunter is so tiny, the math to craft one is an absolute torture. To hit that 0.07 float, the 10 skins you put into the contract must have an average float of less than 0.0134. You have to scroll through the marketplace to find incredibly rare low float mil-spec Militia skin, like the P250 or the PP Bison Modern Hunter. Do you know how expensive and rare 0.01 float P250 Modern Hunter from 2013 is today? Sourcing 10 of them isn't just expensive, it's basically impossible. So, crafters have to use what it's called filler strategy. They buy one extremely expensive low float P250 Modern Hunter, for example, and then they buy 9 cheap low float blue skins from completely different collections just to drag the average float down to 0.013. But because of how CS trade-ups work, each skin you put in gives you a flat 10% chance to hit its collection. So you spend all that money sourcing the perfect floats, you use one Militia skin and 9 fillers, you hit the submit button, and you have exactly a 10% chance to actually getting the M4A4. 90% of the time you just burn your 2013 militia skin and get the absolute garbage in return. This is what we call negative expected value. You are mathematically guaranteed to lose money in the long run. And to make matters worse, the few factory new modern hunters that do exist are constantly being destroyed by high roller crafters using them as inputs to chase the classified SCAR 20 splash jam. The supply isn't just low, it's actively bleeding. Now you might be thinking, if it is so rare, can't we just open old vintage cases to get more? This is where the history of the modern hunter gets truly insane. There is no militia case, it doesn't exist. When this collection was introduced in August 2013, the only way to get one was a random post-match drop just for playing the game on official servers. But Valve quietly stopped dropping them regularly right around and after DreamHack Winter 2013. That means this skin was only actively dropping into the game for a tiny window back in 2013. Nobody knew skins would be worth thousands of dollars. Most players who got Militia Collection skin might have thrown it just into a random trade up or sold it on the market for a few cents. That brings us back to why I think Modern Hunter will be always rarer than the Howl. Because of the math of the trade ups. Whether you use 10 Militia skins for a 100% chance or 1 Militia skin and 9 fillers for 10% chance, the math always averages out on the same cost. You burn 10 mil-spec militia skins for every one M4A4 Modern Hunter created. To craft 3,200 new M4A4s, the community would need to burn 32,000 mil-spec militia skins. Because the collection only dropped for a very short period of time over a decade ago, there simply aren't too many of those blue skins left in the active tradable inventories. Most of them have already been burned over the last 13 years. You literally need a small miracle to find enough raw materials to build 3,200 more M4A4s. Here is the final nail in the coffin. The Modern Hunter supply isn't just growing, it is simultaneously shrinking. The M4A4 Modern Hunter is a restricted skin. That means it is the required input to craft the classified skin from the Militia collection, the SCAR 20 Splash Jam. Hardcore collectors are buying up M4A4 Modern Hunters and throwing them into the trade-up contracts to try and craft factory new SCAR 20, which is even rarer and harder to hit. And welcome to 2026. The world has changed. Due to the Digital Fairness Act cracking down on loot boxes, Valve has moved to the terminal and armory pass systems. We now use stars to buy exactly what we want. The days of getting a legendary inactive drop after a random deathmatch is permanently dead and gone. I'll be honest, I don't actually hate the terminal system. Knowing exactly what you're grinding for takes the casino feeling out of the game, but it also means those wild post-match drop moments are gone forever. This means that the Militia collection is totally closed economy. The supply is hard locked. The Modern Hunter is no longer just a weapon skin. It's digital antiquity. Its value isn't based on how cool it looks. Its value is based entirely on the fact that it was only dropped for a tiny fraction of time in 2013, and the foundry to make a new one is broken. It is a finite piece of gaming history. In the 2026 digital marketplace, the Modern Hunter is no longer the tool of the hunt, it is ultimate prey. As trade-up inputs are exhausted and old accounts from 2013 are permanently lost or banned, the remaining factory new specimen are safely locked away in the inventories of high net worth collectors. They are immune to the hype and crash cycles of modern anime skins because there is permanent barrier to entry. It survives as a ghost from the arm steel era, an ugly, scratched, but at the same time beautiful in its own way masterpiece of an absolute scarcity. So, what do you guys think? Is the M4A4 Modern Hunter an overpriced relic, or do you respect the math and the history behind it? If you had the budget, would you buy this, or would you just buy a shiny new skin? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next one. Bye.